Freedom of speech and expression. Burnett Coleman versus Union of India. Basic feature theory. Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala. Freedom of movement and right of personal liberty. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Independence of judiciary. S.P. Gupta versus Union of India. How many articles are there in Indian Constitution? Answer 395. The Constitution of India is partially rigid, partially flexible. Indian Constitution was enacted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949. Sarkaria Committee was set up to review the relationship between central and the state. In the interest of consumer, Parliament enacted legislation imposing certain restrictions on the press, including page ceiling, price, advertisement. In order to avoid any challenge the legislation under Part 3 of Constitution of India, the legislation was included in the 9th schedule of the Constitution of India. The legislation is answer invalid despite of inclusion in 9th schedule as it violated the freedom of press, which is a basic feature of the Constitution of India. The Association of Policemen was recognized by state government with the condition that the association will not take recourse to agitation method to get their demands fulfilled. Shortly after recognition, the association started agitation with view to force the government to accept their demand. The state government cancelled the recognition. The policemen became aggrieved by action and started destroying public and private property on at large scale. Policemen were dismissed without an inquiry and hearing. The dismissal is challenged by policemen on the ground that rule of natural justice has been violated. With regard to above, which one of the following is correct? Answer. The dismissal is valid as protection available to civil servant under Article 311(2) cannot applied in the case such as this one. Which one of the following article of Constitution provide for establishment of Interstate Council? Article 263. By which one of the following amendment the Constitution service tax has been added? '88 Amendment Act. 6th schedule of the Constitution applies to which one of the following states? Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, Mizoram. In which one of the following article it is written that this constitution may be called Constitution of India? Article 393. The primary function of Finance Commission of India is to make recommendation regarding distribution of taxes between center and states. What is the number of language in 8th schedule after 92nd amendment of the Constitution? 22. What is the correct chronology order in which following prepositions were incorporated in the Constitution of India through amendment? नंबर 1 पे आया डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑन फ्री लीगल एड, उसके बाद प्रोविज़न ऑफ आर्टिकल 335, उसके बाद 20th शेड्यूल, उसके बाद आर्टिकल 51A के 1 2 3 4 विट आंसर नंबर 1 डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑन फ्री लीगल एड, नंबर 2 20th शेड्यूल, 3 provision of article 335, 4 article 51AK. White is 1324. Match. Supreme Court Advocate on Record versus Union of India. Answer. Appointment and transfer of judges of Supreme Court and the High Court. In Re Vinay versus Chandra Mishra. Contempt power. In Re Kesav Singh. Parliamentary privilege. Rupa Asokhuda versus Asokhuda. Purity petition. Match. Limits of revision in public employment. Balaji versus State of Mysore. Pardon power of the government. K.M. Nanapati versus State of Bombay. Environmental protection. M.C. Mehta versus Union of India. Liberty of thought and expression. Preamble. Freedom of speech and expression. Right of freedom. Making special provision for women and children. Right to equality. Protection of interest of minority. Cultural and educational rights. Preamble. Keswanand Bharti was State of Kerala. Natural justice. State of Odisha versus Miss Beena Pani Devi. Right to life. Rudral Shah versus State of Bihar. Right of education. Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka. L. Chandra versus Union of India. Judicial review. TMA Pi Foundation versus State of Kerala. Right of minority education institution and uniform civil. No, institution only. Uniform civil is next. Randhir Singh versus Union of India. Equal pay for equal work. S. Jagannath versus Union of Indian Institution. Union Education Institution of India. Pawar Culture and Coastal Zone Regulation. Vaman Rao versus Union of India. Balance between fundamental rights and active principles. Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. Doctrine of harmonious construction. Stensus versus State of MP. Restriction of freedom of religion. Chiranjit Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India. Meaning of equality before law. Emergency provision. Germany. Fundamental. White. United States of America. Parliamentary system, United Kingdom. Directive principle of state policy, Ireland. Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India. National relation between national law and international law related to case of adoption. Mansukh Lal versus Vitthal Das. Mansukh Lal Vitthal Das Chauhan versus Ram Lubhaya. Dependence between right and duty. Supreme Court Bar Association versus Union of India. Justice according to law. शिरोमणि गुरुद्वारा प्रबंधक कमेटी वर्सेस सोमनाथ दास. लीगल पर्सनालिटी. इंदिरा सोहानी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया. रिजर्वेशन ऑफ बैकवर्ड क्लासेस. ज्ञान कौर वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब. राइट ऑफ लाइफ एंड पर्सनल लिबर्टी. एएस नारायणा वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश. रिलीजियस फ्रीडम. बिकाजी नारायण वर्सेस यूनियन स्टेट ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश. डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ इक्लिप्स. प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ इकोलॉजी एंड एनवायरमेंटल पॉल्यूशन. MC Mehta versus Union of India. Speedy trial. Husna Ara Khatun versus State of Bihar. Freedom of religion. Stelnevesh versus State of Madhya Pradesh. Safeguard against arbitrary arrest and detention. Kartar Singh versus State of Punjab. Freedom of press. Bennett Coleman versus Union of India. Minority rights. Aziz Basa versus Union of India. Just, fair and reasonable. Menika Gandhi versus Union of India. Special Court. Kedarnath Bajoria versus State of West Bengal. Article 50. Separation between judiciary and executive. Article 143. Advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Article 61. Impeachment of the President. Article 320. Function of Public Service Commission. Ex post facto law. Construction for an act that was not declared as an offense at time of doing the act. Color-label legislation. To maintain balance between provisions of law in case of conflict. Harmonious construction. Ex post facto law. Construction for an act that was not declared as an offense at the time of doing so. Color-label legislation. Indirect interference in the field of other legislation. Harmonious construction. To maintain balance between provisions of law in case of conflict. Severability. Only such provisions of act are void which are inconsistent with the fundamental rights. Waiver of fundamental right. Bashir Nath versus Commissioner of Income Tax. Territorial nexus. Praful Kumar versus Bank of Khulana. Harmonious construction. Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. Prospective overruling. Gorakhnath versus State of Punjab. Assertion. Doctrine of res judicata does not apply to writ. Right. The writ of habeas corpus is rejected by Supreme Court. The same writ can be fresh before High Court under Article 226. पहले Supreme Court तो High Court. Wrong. Habeas corpus. Okay. Answer is first one is wrong and second one is right. Right to go abroad. मेनका गांधी केस, प्रिजनर्स राइट, सुनील भद्रा केस, डेथ पेनल्टी, बच्चन सिंह केस, गवर्नमेंट लाइबिलिटी, भीम सिंह केस, भीम सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ बिहार। बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कैन नॉट बी अमेंडेड, केशवानंद भारती वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ केरला। लॉ मेड बाय legislation deprive a person of his personal liberty must be fair and reasonable, मेनका गांधी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया। Advisory opinion of Supreme Court is also binding on the all courts. In reference to Special Court Bill 1978, presidential satisfaction under Article 356 judicial reviewable to limit the extent, SR Bommai versus Union of India. ADM Jabalpur versus Sivkant Shukla, habeas corpus case. MSM Sharma versus SK Sinha, searchlight case. RC Cooper versus Union of India, bank nationalization case. RK Garg versus Union of India, bearer bond case. Right to live with human dignity enshrined in Article 21 derive its life breath from directive principle of state policy, particularly clause E and F of Article 39, 41 and 42. Bhagwati J in Bandhua Mukti Morcha versus Union of India. Speedy trial is an essential ingredient of just and reasonable procedure granted by Article 21. Krishna Iyer J in Husna Ada Khatun versus State of Bihar. Even in public interest litigation, a total stranger to trial cannot be permitted to question the correctness and conviction of the accused. Hamid J versus Simranjit Singh Man versus Union of India. In case of helpless of disability, any member of the public can maintain application from the appropriate order, direction or right if there has been violation of construction of right. Bhagwati J in SP Gupta versus Union of India. In High Court having jurisdiction of judicial matter relating to largest number of state union territory is Guwahati High Court, irrelevant. Which one of the following has been considered Supreme Court as a source of power? Constitution of India. Constitution of India is framed constituted assembly was finally adopted on 26 November 1949. Which one of the following pair is correctly matched? Only D. Secularism. State is without any religion of it is correctly right. Chronological order. D. Bedubadi, Kesavanand Bharati versus State of Kerala, Axelware versus Union of India. The words sovereign, socialistic, democratic republic were introduced in the preamble by 42nd Amendment. Who was the first chairman of drafting committee? B.R. Ambedkar. Who among the following was the president of Constituent Assembly? Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The member of Constituent Assembly were mainly elected by the Provincial Assembly. Who among the following was first Speaker of the Lok Sabha? G.V. Malvankar. Professor K.C. Weir said that Constitution is at most quasi-federal. Which one of the following formal introduced the principle of election for the first time? Indian Council Act 1992. 1909 में क्या हुआ? Introduction of principle of election for the first time. Parliament has power to legislate with respect to the matter in the state list provided it in the national interest. Which one of the following is the correct statement? Full faith credit clause of constitution does not apply to public acts. The constitution authority vested will be power of declaring caste and tribes of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe is the President of India. Under the Constitution of India, all aspects of family law are in the concurrent list. Which one of the following is not included in Union of India? Public health. Postal defense audit related to Union list. Which one of the following contained in the concurrent list? Education is on concurrent list. Agriculture, fishery and police is in state list. Law is on preservation, protection and improvement of livestock are enacted by the states. Which one of the following is an incorrect match? C is incorrect match. Parisian crime committed by High C, Union list. Water supply, state list. Adulteration of foodstuffs, state list. The 8th schedule of Constitution of India does not include which one of the following language? Bhojpuri.